A shooting investigation still underway this noon. How the gunman was able to escape from police.
And we have a traffic alert for you to be aware of. Why part of a major highway will be shut down this weekend.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
President Joe Biden at this hour getting ready to address the nation about his decision to withdraw from Afghanistan, sparking a chaotic evacuation.
Americans and allies in Afghanistan are struggling with obstacles, ranging from armed Taliban checkpoints to airport pandemonium. Tens of thousands of people remain to be evacuated.
Right now, we're waiting to hear from the president himself on the ongoing violence around the airport, and we're going to bring those remarks to you live as soon as he steps up to the podium in a few minutes. Meantime, here at home, it appears that a man visiting a Northwest Side home quickly wore out his welcome.
And according to San Antonio police, he went to someone else's apartment early this morning and shot that person. This happened on Callahan Road near Interstate 10.
Katrina Weber reports the search continues for that shooter.
The search for answers took a temporary backseat to the search for a shooter. That was a top priority as San Antonio police arrived around 5 this morning at the Cordoba Apartments in the 7800 block of Callahan Road. Inside a ground floor unit, a 36-year-old man had been shot in his belly. He was in critical condition as he was taken away in an ambulance. Police say someone with a gun had shown up, specifically looking for him. Then things took a violent turn. Early on, at least, police were not able to explain the reason for the shooting. But after investigating, they say it looks like the two men were arguing over property, possibly a cell phone. Police spent some time questioning other people there, trying to learn as much as they could about the shooter. Officers caught a glimpse of him climbing over a fence as they arrived. They immediately blocked off the area and launched their helicopter. Still, the shooter was able to slip by them and get away. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Police say two men were arguing before one of them pulled out a gun and shot the other just north of downtown. According to officers, two men were pushing a stalled vehicle into a corner store parking lot. This was on Blanco Road near Mariposa Drive. At some point, they got into an argument and one of them pulled out a gun and fired. The victim was hit but should be okay. Police say the suspect took off and so far they have not found him.
Local school districts still updating their rules on masks, and just last night, Northeast Side's ISD Board of Trustees approved a temporary mask mandate during an emergency meeting. That temporary mask mandate applies to all students, staff, and visitors who are indoors at any ISD campuses, school buses, or facilities, regardless of vaccination status, according to the district. That mandate goes into effect on Monday. Class has already started for the 21-22 school year. NEISD joined San Antonio and Northside Independent School Districts in implementing mask mandates on their own. All this while the courts decide the legality of such requirements, which are banned under Governor Greg Abbott's order.
The San Antonio Independent School District and its superintendent facing a lawsuit filed by the state. The lawsuit claims the district's COVID-19 vaccine requirement for its employees goes against the governor's executive order. Superintendent Pedro Martinez has said the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission does allow employers to make vaccinations against COVID-19 mandatory for employees. The district has also said exemptions are allowed for qualifying disability or religious reasons. In its lawsuit, the state is asking a judge to block the SAISD mandate until a trial is held.
Meanwhile, across the country, officials in Alabama reporting ICU beds there are completely full. Mississippi seeing an uptick in children being admitted to the hospital. And in Florida, dramatic images are coming in as patients wait on the floor for antibody treatments, desperate to get help fighting the virus. ABC's Dan Lieberman has the latest.
That if you're not scared of COVID, you need to be scared of your hospital system collapsing, because right now I can't take care of your families.
A warning from this Alabama doctor pleading with parents to take the COVID surge seriously, as ICU beds in his state are now completely full.
We're experiencing wait times in the emergency room like we've never seen. They are waiting for hours and sometimes more than 24 hours in the emergency department.
In Louisiana, images like this, a Navy medical team arriving to help short-staffed and overworked hospitals. In this image in Jacksonville, Florida, a patient lying on the floor of the city's public library waiting for the monoclonal antibody treatment Regeneron. Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis touring the state in recent days, encouraging people to seek the treatment if they test positive.
This monoclonal antibody is like an antibody cocktail. It goes in and it helps fight back the virus, and really I think the results have been very good.
The Republican governor continuing to oppose mask and vaccine mandates as more than 17,000 patients are hospitalized across his state, with officials warning they're reaching capacity there too, with less than 7% of ICU beds available. And overnight, Texas dropping its enforcement of Governor Abbott's ban on school mask mandates after a Supreme Court ruling upheld one district's restraining order. Texas's lieutenant governor pushing back on criticism of Republican mask and vaccine mandates, telling Fox News the Democrats are causing the surge in cases by failing to get African Americans vaccinated.
The biggest group in most states are African Americans who have not been vaccinated. And the last time I checked, over 90% of them vote for Democrats.
Studies show right now 57% of unvaccinated people are white. The NAACP responding this morning, calling the lieutenant governor's claim racist and false. Dan Lieberman, ABC News, New York.
We have a traffic alert to tell you about after delays due to weather and a flock of migratory birds. Crews are now ready to once again demolish the US 87 Main Street Bridge in Boerne. So that means road closures. The main lanes of I-10 are going to be shut down in both directions from State Highway 46 to Scenic Loop Road. The closure starts tonight at 9. It ends on Monday morning at 5. The work is part of TxDOT's I-10 Kendall Extension Project, which is upgrading frontage roads and overpasses from State Highway 46 to Fair Oaks Parkway. For more information about the closure and the planned detours, go to KSAT.com.
Some big-time heat heads our way this weekend, plus we're tracking the latest in the tropics. Your forecast is coming up.
The Cowboys talking big why they believe Dak and the crew can have the top offense in the NFL this season.
Welcome back. Trinity University is welcoming first-year students, and they're coming to our community from 40 states and all around the globe. The university says it's seen record enrollment despite the ongoing public health crisis. And I had the opportunity to speak with an incoming freshman who is all settled and excited to start the school year with some notion of normalcy. This is first-year student Elijah Maestas, unpacked and neatly settled into his home away from, well, the classroom. He says despite all the stress around everything COVID-19 related, he's thankful to have somewhat of a normal start to his first year in college.
Being able to really get that first year college experience has just been so amazing in every single way.
Elijah was born and raised in San Antonio and is a graduate of Fox Tech High School. He graduated top 3 of his class and says he's always been academically competitive. Says Trinity was one of 3 choices he had lined up.
I had my sights on Trinity and Rice and NYU. However, Trinity just really fit my needs in the aspect of being able to stay closer to home, and I really think that San Antonio and especially South Texas has such a culture that you really can't get anywhere else.
As the city navigates through a rise in COVID-19 cases, Elijah says he's confident and thankful the faculty and staff at Trinity have provided a safe environment for everyone.
I am so grateful for all of the steps that Trinity has taken in order to be able to have the first years and all of the class come onto campus and be able to really get that college experience.
Elijah counts with the support and encouragement of his parents, who he says have encouraged him to make the most of this experience.
Have those meaningful experiences that they had, pre-COVID and pre any public health crisis, because it was so much more normal than it is now. However, just kind of learning to live in the new normal and just embrace it for what it is.
A bright future ahead without a doubt for Elijah. Elijah plans on double majoring in business administration and communication. School officials say they have the ability to fully test all members of the campus community. They say they are confident in their decision of moving forward with in-person learning and living, as they have a very robust contact tracing and treating capabilities.
The Boys and Girls Club of San Antonio says that they're going to put a $50,000 donation to good use. It's going to help students in our community have access to the technology that they need to succeed. Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages donating the money this morning during a volunteer event. Volunteers set up to paint a new computer lab, which the Boys and Girls Club says should be open next year. Coca-Cola will also sponsor the Boys and Girls Club's Back to School event. It's happening tomorrow at the Eastside Club. It's for all Boys and Girls Clubhouse members all across the city.
And taking a look outside at live cam, Justin, I'm not sure about you, but I definitely felt the humidity this morning. Am I right or am I wrong?
You are correct. We had a lot of humidity and it's still here, so the heat index is going to be a problem again today. It's been that way last couple of days. Also of note, the aquifer dropped a foot today to 662.2, so now we do need some more rain in the forecast. Here's a little bit. We'll talk about that coming up. And then your pollen count, mold, ragweed, and pigweed all in the low category. We'll talk about the weekend after the break.
Hello, everyone. This is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar News. Facebook facing scrutiny from the Federal Trade Commission once again as the agency filed a revised lawsuit to break up the social media giant. They're accusing the company of being a monopoly and unfairly stifling competition. The amended suit was originally thrown out back in June, that after a judge had ruled it legally insufficient. Meanwhile, Johnson & Johnson CEO Alex Gorsky is stepping down. Gorsky going to go relinquish the position to Joaquin Duato, who previously led J&J's pharmaceutical business. The outgoing CEO will become executive chairman when he steps down on January the 3rd. Now, during his near decade-long tenure as CEO, Gorsky oversaw massive technological growth within the company, guiding Johnson & Johnson through manufacturing issues and opioid and talcum powder lawsuits. And Macy's shares skyrocketing Thursday, that after they posted better than expected earnings. The department store's revenue surged past Wall Street expectations. This comes as vaccination rates climb and shoppers are heading back to malls and shopping centers to stock up on apparel and shoes. Macy also hiking their outlook for the rest of the year. They're saying their turnaround strategy is working and it's drawing in new shoppers. And that's your Cheddar News Business and Tech Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
It sure did not take long for the aquifer to catch up to the idea that now summer's here. It really had to happen eventually.
Yeah, we still have another month left of summer, okay? So there's still going to be some heat in the forecast. One thing, though, that we've been tracking is that 100-degree day. Now, look, 100 is an arbitrary number. It doesn't really mean much other than it's interesting to talk about, right? And we've been awful close. So hot is hot this summer. But we technically we have not had any 100-degree days. Our hottest day has been, well, the last couple of days. We got up to 98. We'll see where we land today, but you compare that to last year, we had 36 100-degree days, our hottest day being 107 on July 13th. So we're doing a lot better this year than we did last year. And you look at the numbers today, we're forecasting a high of 98 here in San Antonio, but it'll feel like 104. That yellow number, the important number, because that's your feels like temperature with all of that humidity in place. Pleasanton, heat index near 106, Cotulla 108. Some more big numbers this afternoon. And by the way, this trend keeps going through the weekend and into early next week. There's the scene outside right now. We've got partly cloudy skies, 89 degrees at the airport, south-southeasterly winds at about 10 miles per hour. And that heat index is already up around 96 thanks to a dew point of 72. Cloud cover is there, but I think we're going to see mostly sunny skies throughout the afternoon. Temperatures jumping up to 90 now in Castroville, 91 in New Braunfels, 87 in Seguin, 89 Kennedy, and 91 right now in Cotulla. Dew points, well, we don't even need to show you this, right? You know they're high, and that doesn't change much. We're hoping that dew points at least come down a little bit early next week, and that will help some with the heat index. But the numbers right now are already in the triple digits in a few spots. Pleasanton, Gonzales, Victoria. And we're getting there, or at least getting close in places like Hondo, San Antonio, New Braunfels. And looking at the forecast, there is no rain in the forecast today. But as we get into tomorrow, there's just enough moisture there where the models are hinting at maybe a stray shower or two. I think if we see anything, it's probably going to be south of Highway 90, but we can't rule it out. About a 10% chance of rain on your Saturday. Otherwise, it's a dry forecast until we get into next week. We have high pressure beginning to move in. That's the reason for all of this heat. And then, of course, we have Grace down to the south winds right now at 85 miles per hour, gusting to 105. Storm grew a little bit, and it's getting closer to the east coast of Mexico there. By this evening, this thing will likely be making landfall as a Category 2 storm. This is the wind radii, so you can see how far out these winds extend, tropical storm force winds. And between Tampico and Veracruz, that's where you're going to get some pretty strong winds, a good storm surge, and then likely a lot of rain inland around Mexico City even. It'll begin to die down as we get into tomorrow. But you look at some of the rainfall total, 6 to 12 inches potentially. Some places could see up to 18 inches. So that's going to be a big rainmaker. Meantime, we have Tropical Storm Henri out in the Atlantic. Winds here at 65 miles per hour. This storm is interesting because it will move north and potentially affect the northeast as a Category 1 hurricane, bringing storm surge and heavy rain. So this will cause all sorts of travel issues up around New York to Boston. Winds potentially 70 miles per hour by Sunday evening as this is moving inland and bringing heavy rain as it does. So the tropics active. For us, no tropical weather, just high pressure. And it's going to sit around next couple days. It may move far enough to the north and west by midweek next week that we could get a few disturbances moving in, and that would bring rain chances back into play, which would be nice. Just a 10% chance of rain Saturday, 97, 98 Sunday, close to 100 on Monday. We'll go 99, 98 Tuesday, and then some slight rain chances Wednesday and Thursday, guys.
Now you're just teasing us for that 99. Thank you, Justin.
Not there, yeah.
Hard to believe, but the high school football season is kicking off in less than a week.
RJ Marquez is handling sports duties today as we get ready for a very fun season ahead.
Oh yeah, guys, a lot of excitement from the pros to high school. Things are definitely heating up on the field as we get ready for some football. Coming up, we continue our big game coverage previews with a trip to Holmes High School, see what the Huskies are planning to do this season. And expectations sky high at UTSA. The Roadrunners are expected to compete for a conference title, and they don't want to stop there. Look at the Roadrunners as they prepare for their season opener. That's coming up after the break.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Cowboys are back in action this weekend, taking on the team down the road, the Houston Texans, as the preseason continues. We're expected to see a few more Cowboys starters, but that doesn't include Dak Prescott, who's recovering from a shoulder strain. But the slow recovery from Dak and wideout Amari Cooper hasn't stopped offensive coordinator Kellen Moore from believing this offense can be one of the league's best.
We have a plan in place. We feel very comfortable with it, and obviously, we're fortunate. These guys have played for a number of years together, and so we're in a very beneficial situation with that.
The Cowboys take on the Texans tomorrow in Arlington. And check this out. Raiders rookie and Smithson Valley alum Trayvon Merrick has been impressive in camp. He came up with this nice play against the Rams during a scrimmage. Merrick could start for the Vegas Raiders when the season kicks off. Our big game coverage previews takes us to Huskies country, where Holmes is trying to bounce back after a sub-500 season. Holmes went 1-8 overall last season and 1-7 in the tough District 29 6A. They have 9 starters returning and a lot of experience. Some of their players have been on varsity since their sophomore season. The Huskies are hoping it pays off.
It's very important because we came from a 1-9 season. Everybody's motivated and we have a lot of seniors coming, so everybody's excited for this season.
Last year was tough. You know, COVID going on, team had to push through. The season didn't go the way we wanted to, but we're coming back.
All right, Holmes will open the season against Lee next Saturday at 7 p.m. at Comalander Stadium. The UTSA Roadrunners gearing up for their season opener September 4th on the road against the Illinois Fighting Illini. Head coach Jeff Traylor has one of the most experienced rosters in college football. UTSA is expected to compete for a conference championship and get a nice bowl bid. They have been working hard in camp and living up to the squad's motto, which is called the Triangle of Toughness.
Being able to have multiple leaders is, definitely a great thing, and I feel like guys like our super seniors and all of our older guys, on both sides of the ball have been doing a great job of that. And, and I feel like, it will definitely take us far this season.
All right, Judson alum Rashad Wisdom right there, of course, one of those team leaders. And good news for UTSA athletics, as Dr. Lisa Campos, she has just gotten a 4-year extension to be the AD through November of 2026. Jonathan, Ursula, Lisa Campos has done an amazing job there for UTSA athletics, really kind of ushered them into a new era.
Definitely job security for her. I'm sure this is excellent news.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff for the Roadrunners in general.
Glad we get to keep her. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Several districts in our community already welcoming back their students, but back to school season isn't quite over yet for others.
That's right. Another major district kicks off the new school year on Monday, Northside ISD. And today we're joined by the NISD Superintendent, Dr. Brian T. Woods.
Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Woods.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Now, we understand that the district has now issued a temporary mask mandate. Are you now planning to extend it, or what would it take to extend it?
Well, it's temporary, and it doesn't begin until Monday when students come back to the building. We haven't set a defined set of metrics about what will cause it to either be ended or be extended. We think that the current surge of cases in Bexar County is serious enough that it warrants this temporary measure.
And some protections have been added this year, but how is it going to be different from last year? Plexiglass and so forth.
Yeah, I don't think it will be, at least to begin the year, a lot different from last year. A lot of the things that we put in place last year, including voluntary testing and contact tracing, cleaning surfaces throughout the day, partitions in places where it's appropriate. All of those things are going to be available. We'll provide PPE to students and staff if they need it. So it will look very similar to last year, at least in these first few weeks.
Superintendent, we understand there were 13 different vaccination sites offered at both the high school and middle school campuses. What are the stats on those? How many people were vaccinated, those 12 years in age and older, and what was the goal?
Yeah, we hadn't set really a formal goal. We had pretty good turnout at every one of those sites. We had between 50 and 70 vaccinated at each one of those sites. And we'll continue to offer those here early in the school year, Saturdays as well as after hours, to try to make them available to as many people as possible. I think all of us are reading that what's going on now is encouraging families with children 12 to 18 to get vaccinated, and we want to be a source of that if that's what families want.
In the meantime, those who have breakthrough cases or turn up sick and end up getting a positive COVID test, what are the procedures for that? How are they quarantined? Are you requiring a specific quarantine time period?
Yes, we are. We're actually we're gonna follow, again, very similar to what we did a year ago, the CDC recommendation around quarantine. Whether it's a breakthrough case or not, we're going to ask folks to stay away from the school building for a number of days. And as I'm sure you know, that depends on whether I'm fully vaccinated or not, right? The length of that time. But we'll follow those same quarantine procedures we did in the spring, again, at least for the first few weeks of the school year, and at least while case numbers are high in the community.
Is that going to be required to quarantine or asked to quarantine?
It's going to be required to quarantine, and that's not a local decision. The Department of State Health Services has issued that directive in the last few days, and so that's not a choice that schools have. It's a directive that they must follow.
I see.
Superintendent, when or how will parents be notified if their child is exposed to a positive case of COVID-19?
Yeah, again, very similar to what we did a year ago. We will make every effort. Our nurses have done just incredible work in the last year to try to contact trace and then notify families individually if we believe that they've been in close contact. And so that will also look very similar to how we operated in the last school year.
It's been a bit controversial, some parents wanting virtual learning, some saying, please don't offer it. It disrupts the entire learning process. What is the possibility that you're going to have virtual learning again?
Yeah, it's a great question. We hope not to have to do that because we know students are, for the vast majority, better off in the building with their peers and with their teachers. We've got great data that shows us that. That said, if we have to close a classroom or, God forbid, close a school for a period of time, then obviously we will try to stand something up that meets the needs of kids to the best of our ability. While it's not virtual education, we're also planning to try to serve students who have to be quarantined for that relatively short period of time as best we can, so that they don't just simply miss 10 days of instruction if they're exposed to the virus.
At what point would you feel like you had to go back to virtual learning? The number of cases, a recommendation from maybe the CDC?
Yeah, I think it would be a combination of factors from the local public health folks, looking at what's going on in the city and the county, but then looking at it school by school, right? We very much hope not to have to issue blanket rules any longer than we have to. And so if we feel like a school's in a situation where we need to go virtual for a short period of time, we'd rather do that at the school level than all across the system level and have it affect 105,000 students.
Superintendent, we're at the beginning of the fall semester, the new academic school year, and sports is something that is definitely a hot topic during the fall. What can you talk to us about scrimmages, games? Are they going to continue as planned?
For now, they are definitely going to continue as planned. When we look back at, and obviously we're in a different environment, and I acknowledge that, but when we look back at those activities last fall, we really had relatively little issue, especially at events that are, for the most part, outdoors. And so we're going to continue with those until we have data that indicates that we shouldn't. But as of now, our football teams are scrimmaging this week. Our first games are next week, and we are planning to go forward as usual with those.
Now, Superintendent, something that's very important to mention, transportation. We understand there was a bus driver shortage. Is that still the case? And how is that being addressed?
That is still the case. And unfortunately, that was the case prior to COVID. Folks are, especially in this part of our state, who have a commercial driver's license are in very high demand. And so we've tried to raise our pay, as have districts all across this area, for a number of years to address that. And so there are ways to get around some of those issues by consolidating routes and so forth. But there are positives and negatives to each of those solutions. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The shortage of bus drivers and now, frankly, custodians and folks in our child nutrition department, those are real. As I'm sure you all have reported, folks are making really pretty high wages in lots of places in Bexar County and all over these days. And so wage competition is tough.
The other tough item to try to keep your staff all together, or at least staffed at the levels that you want, is that what are you going to do in regard to a student or a teacher or a staff member who is exposed? Are they going to be required to stay home, quarantine, and not come in to work or school?
Yeah, the answer to the question is a little bit more complex. So if I'm a fully vaccinated individual and I don't have any symptoms, then we won't require that person to quarantine. If I'm not fully vaccinated and we believe it's a close contact situation, we will require quarantine in that case. So it's a little bit more nuanced depending upon vaccine status.
And obviously that is going to spur people on to get vaccinated. That's one more reason to do so because of what you just said. If you're not vaccinated and you come in close contact, you're going to be asked to quarantine where otherwise you would not.
That's true, and it's actually how we've structured our leave policy as well. If folks in our system are fully vaccinated and willing to tell us that that's the case, then we're going to actually cover more potential leave days due to a COVID illness than we would for a non-vaccinated staff member.
And one final question, out of curiosity, are you guys already making plans to offer booster shots to your students as soon as that's approved?
We will, as soon as that's approved, and assuming it's approved for, students under the age of 18, we will offer that, as well as continue to offer the initial first 2 doses for those that have decided, who haven't yet decided to get vaccinated. So I think that's going to be an ongoing effort in school districts all over this area, all over the country, I'm sure. But yes, is the answer to the question. Once that booster is approved, then we will begin offering it as well.
So, NISD Superintendent, thank you so much for joining us and answering those very, very important questions.
Yeah, appreciate you joining us. You're about to get big-footed by President Biden, we think, in a minute. So we're going to move on to weather from here. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
All right, take care. Thank you.
And looking outside with live cam, pretty day out there if you don't look at the thermometer.
Yeah, don't look. Just don't look. It is going to be really toasty again this afternoon. Temperatures are already warming up into the 90s in a lot of spots. You see some of the blue skies out there. That's going to lend itself to some pretty hot temperatures today. Let's look at the numbers right now. As you head outside, we're at 89 degrees at the airport, 84 Bernie Stage, 91 in New Braunfels, 94 in Devine. And it looks like a lot of the clouds are starting to melt away in the hill country. Still seeing some cumulus clouds here across Barrett County and to the east. I think it'll be a mostly sunny afternoon. Again, there's a look outside, and the temperature at the airport is at 89, but the dew point is at 72, so that means it feels like it's in the mid-90s at this hour. Thankfully, we do have a good breeze out of the south-southeast at about 10 miles per hour. If you're hoping for some rain, it's not much in the forecast. Tomorrow, there is a 10% chance. Could see a stray shower or two, but the next best chance will be Thursday of next week. When the pattern changes a little bit, we'll add in a 20% shot there. Forecast for today, all the way up to 98. Heat index will be 100 plus. Southeasterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. And the U.S. Department of Education is canceling student loan debt for borrowers with severe disabilities. It says it's waiving $5.8 billion total for more than 300,000 people. To qualify, borrowers must have a total and permanent disability. The Social Security Administration will automatically identify eligible recipients.
T-Mobile confirming 5.3 million more customers had their data stolen, and that is in addition to the 7.8 million subscribers who were impacted in a hack just a few days ago. Information from more than 40 million people who applied for credit with T-Mobile was also compromised, as well as 850,000 prepaid customers. The company says device information numbers, which could be used to track users, were stolen from some subscribers. It's also that possibly names, phone numbers, social security numbers, and driver's license information was included in that hack. T-Mobile says, though, no credit card or other financial information appears to have been stolen.
The popular CGI K9 crew with an ongoing TV series with plenty of toys and merchandise arrives in theaters this weekend. A look at Paw Patrol, the movie, after the break. Most parents and small children are probably pretty familiar with the crew on Paw Patrol. Well, now they're heading to the big screen for a brand new adventure, and CNN's David Daniel has a preview.
Our fate is in their paws.
A dog?
Actually, sir, I'm a puppy.
Yelp for help, and the Paw Patrol is there.
Paw Patrol, what's your emergency? My name is Liberty. We need your help. Humdinger, he's going to destroy Adventure City. Come on, Pups. Adventure City's in trouble.
The puppy search and rescue team answers the call in its first big screen adventure.
Chase is on the case.
Young Sheldon star Ian Armitage provides the voice of police pup Chase.
It's really cool because, we showed Chase being afraid of something and really stepping up and overcoming it. And I think it's really important for people to see, that's real bravery.
What your team needs is a pup like me.
Blackish and Little star Marseille Martin voices Liberty, eager to prove herself to the team.
Like, she's very wild and very straight to the point. Like, she knows what she wants and she's gonna go for it.
She even talks trash to a poodle voiced by Kim Kardashian.
Please, this scrawny little purse pup is gonna pull a jailbreak?
You talk a lot of trash for a dog who looks like a toilet brush. You gotta know how to talk to people. Now go!
In Howleywood, I'm David Daniel.
You got that, Hollywood?
It's a nice touch.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure you saw what he did there.
My daughter's super excited about that film, by the way. Super excited.
Of course she is.
Yeah. Some puffy white clouds out there right now. Temperatures on their way up. We're seeing a lot of 90s around the area, and it's going to be a toasty day. That much we know. The high today so far, 89. The low this morning, 79. We did get below 80, which was nice. 96 is the average high. We'll be above that. The record is 107, set back in 1909. That is not in jeopardy. But could we hit the 100-degree mark? We've got to look at the forecast coming up.